Seems good. I need.
I didn't put it out there. People contacted us, we said it, but with such last minute, I wanted to make the main priority watch on TV. And then as soon as it's done, it's going right on my daily life. So.
So somebody coming to talk about that?
I believe so. I want I don't know. He said so. I'm not wrong.
I don't know.
Yeah, that might be something and the so there's a lot of anyways, a lot of people could want to what somewhere else. But yeah, it's great. That's awesome. For you looking for sorry, were you looking for he said go private. Yeah, so this will be Friday. And then it's escape from Saturday. Everyone else will watch the game. And there's going to be basically there's five escapees, three of them are couples, so they'll be like a section over there, and they'll be taking ours, and you'll have to do something. Looks like they're really wrong. It's live right now. So it can't be you. So you say, I had to get started initially live, and then whoever watching me. It won't start until the next one. Oh, that's the next one. I started. Sorry.
It's all one thing.
Okay.
I'll tell you when it's on the channel.
Can we turn it just a tad so those aren't? Let's bring you over. Just a tad so those aren't. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the COVID live breaking news. What we wanted to do for the residents of Westminster Palms is share the information we know about the COVID vaccine at this time. And we will continue to have a live update weekly where you can ask questions. There's two ways to ask questions. You can come, we'll take up to 20 residents in person, or you can send an email to Keith and he will make a list of those questions for us for the next time we meet. So our goal really is to make this an interactive conversation where you know what we know in regards to the COVID vaccine. So we'll start off a little bit with Dave. How are your thoughts on the COVID vaccine?
Well, fortunately, I've been more involved in knowing what Westminster is up to. And I kind of advocated for this so that you could actually share with the rest of the residents who have been asking and I'm sure are wondering, what has Westminster done to prepare? What is our current status? Knowing that there are questions that can't be answered, at least share what information we have. Thank you for giving us the opportunity here.
Absolutely. So I can answer some of those questions. So what has Westminster done to prepare for the COVID vaccine? We've done a lot of pre-work that's behind the scenes. I'll start with preparing for the vaccine. We have registered through multiple locations to be a recipient of the vaccine. One is through Walgreens, who's a local provider. We've also registered with the state through the Department of Health and CDC, and Pinellas County is actually in touch with us regarding that. We are also using our association Leading Age to advocate for our communities to be first with the COVID vaccine. So in preparation for the vaccine, those are the initial steps. So we are signed up with Walgreens and we are set with Department of Health /CDC to receive it. Interestingly, for both of those for skilled nursing right now, we are in the queue to receive the vaccine from the first person or the first organization that has that ready will be able to administer it for our skilled nursing residents and health center team members. We've already had all the consent signed by the residents and also our team members that have agreed to take the vaccine. So we are ready in skilled nursing for either Walgreens or through the Department of Health with Pinellas County. And the good news is, whichever one gets to us first, we're able to accept that and we're bumped off the list for the other one, which gives that availability to another group of people. So that's a positive. So that's the first, what we've done as far as preparing. We've also done a lot of education with our team members on what the vaccine is. There's a lot of questions that people have. How does it affect your body? Is it safe? And Alphonse is here. He'll share a little bit about what we've shared with the employees. We've been sharing about the vaccine through multiple different formats to our team members. We've sent them frequently asked questions, videos, different material to educate them, to help them to be comfortable on the vaccine. So Alphonse, what are some of the questions that we've been answering for our team members. And I know that you have actually been meeting one-on-one with team members and also in small groups with team members to share. And you've actually had some great success. You've had whole departments go from not wanting to take it to now taking it. So share with our audience, if you don't mind, some of those questions that are sort of the top questions.
The most frequently asked questions are, can I catch COVID from this shot? And the answer is no. And do I still have to wear a mask? And the answer to that is yes, because we have to continue to make sure that we're not spreading it while we're vaccinated. How long between the first and second shot does it take to get it? And the average is 19 to 21 days. And that's so that the first shot can take effect and be active in your body. And the second shot acts as a booster. And then from there, you should have somewhat safety that you're not going to be able to catch it, but you won't be shedding it either.
Awesome.
Some of the other questions were, do my children need to get it? And that's still in a stage of development. That's something that if you're watching the television, they're talking about how to make it as safe for the children as possible. It can be given to up to 16 years old, from 16 on up, and it's safe. And that's one of the bigger things is how could they have done it so quickly, made a new vaccine so quickly? And it's not really quickly because this has been in the works for 10 years or so, whenever other COVID vaccines came up, and the infrastructure was there. It's just that so much money, so much time, so much interest was allocated toward it, so that it just pushed it right up front, and they were able to get it in production.
Excellent. Well, those are really good questions, and they may be questions that you have. And I would encourage that if you have a question regarding the vaccine, to please email Keith, come by the office, and have that written down if you like. Our goal is to really answer the questions that any resident may have regarding the vaccine for themselves as well. The other thing we've done is our pharmacy, Westminster Pharmacy, has also applied to be able to provide the vaccine. And the good news is, just this week, they've been notified that for stage 2, they will be a provider to be able to administer that medication or that vaccine. So more to come on that, but that was an announcement made this week. We're happy to share that with you. And of course, we'll be keeping you posted as more things develop in that area. Okay, so the other good news, Dave, that just happened this morning, I was keeping this from you, it was a secret, is Walgreens actually called this morning and said, we want to let you know you are in the queue for assisted living. So we are actually working right now for our assisted living staff and our assisted living residents to get all the consent signed for both residents and team members, so that when we are called, we will be ready for that. So the big question I keep getting is, when is it going to happen? This is a great question. It's the same question we keep asking, to be honest with you. Here's what we're being shared. You're on the list. You're in the queue. Be ready. We're going to give you a day or two notice. We will show up. All your team members need to be there. And in a very short time frame, an hour or two, they will vaccinate everybody in that particular level of care. So if they come for skilled nursing, they will literally vaccinate all the residents and all the staff in that time frame in a very set protocol. So we are aware of that protocol. We'll have a special area for them, and there'll be a system process so that everything is done in a safe manner. And then you will also get, you'll have to be observed for a short period of time after that. So unfortunately, we don't have a date, but what we do know as of today is that skilled nursing is in the queue, relatively short term, could be a couple days to a couple weeks. Same as the assisted living. We are in a queue for Walgreens. We've not heard from the county on assisted living, but we have heard from Walgreens. So we feel very positive about that. So that is the basic information I have right now. But Dave, what questions do you have? You probably have a couple more.
Just a follow-up on the education. Are you doing the same education for the residents to see if, to kind of convince them that they want to take it?
I think
that's available to them. and just let me know, and Deb and myself, we have that available.
Yep. Dave, I think that's a good idea. And what we can do is we are getting this finalized. And keep in mind that we are just getting this information ourselves. So I think we're going to use this forum, if you're open to it, give us your feedback, because that's what we want, where we can go over a little bit about vaccine education. And I think a really good opportunity for you is on December 24th at 10 a.m. right here. We're going to have this same conversation, but Constance Sheen, our clinical vice president for Westminster Communities of Florida, is going to be here. She's a registered nurse. She's extremely smart, and she will be able to answer questions. I had actually encouraged you to come up with really good questions for her. So write those questions down, email Keith, get them to Dave, anybody on the team. If you're having a difficulty with it, we're happy to take those questions, and we want to be able to answer your questions next week. So next week, we're going to do two things. One is we will give you an update on where we're at with vaccine for skilled nursing and for the assisted living. I can't tell you we'll have it, but we may have already done it. It's hard to tell. So you'll have that update. You'll have the most recent information we have. If we get vaccinated between now and Friday, I'll put it in the breaking news if assisted living or health center gets in there, just so that residents know. But more importantly, I think you're right, Dave. For educating our residents, we will work to put out some information, some handouts, and have a live forum to be able to discuss that.
Has Westminster made a decision on whether they're going to require staff to be vaccinated or not?
That is a great question. So here's the question again. Has Westminster made a decision on whether we are going to require all staff to get vaccinated with the COVID vaccine? You may know that this is the first year that we've actually required all staff to get the flu vaccine. It was, and I'm proud to announce that we do have 100% of staff that have completed that process for the flu vaccine. And thank you to our residents here and resident council who really have encouraged that process for our staff. The vaccine for COVID is a little different, and that decision has not been made yet. I think there's a number of factors, and unfortunately, due to that, we just are not able to make that decision yet. If we do make it, I'll let you know. It's a good question to ask Constance next week, so we'll put that on her list. She may have a little more detail for us on that. It really comes down to, it's still very new, and it's to some degree, portions of it are experimental. Now, to get into the different types of vaccine, we've got Pfizer and Moderna. Moderna yesterday was up to be approved with the FDA. I do not know if that happened. The good news about Moderna is that's a whole nother line of vaccine, and the purpose of that vaccine would be solely on individuals 65 and older. So it would bring a whole nother flow of vaccine to the market, which would focus on 65 plus individuals in our communities, which would be very positive. So I think we have a very good momentum, and as we continue to learn this, we will be sharing this. I think we'll have to call it the Dave and Mark Vaccine Show. And actually, everybody, Alphonse has agreed to get vaccinated live.
Yes.
So we might have a little bit of fun with it. We do want to encourage our staff and residents, if you have the opportunity to get vaccinated, please talk with your physician to see if that's something appropriate for you. But it is something I think is a positive.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you being part of this show. And again, your questions are really critical to this being a successful show next week. So email Keith, write it down, leave it with reception. There's many ways to get us the questions. If you have a question regarding COVID vaccine, write it down and let us be able to answer that next week for you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.